Hey everybody, I'm so happy you're all here. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Time is precious and I really appreciate it. I'm going to start by just introducing myself and how I came to this work, and then I'll talk a little bit about Anya and why she's here on this call with us today. And then we'll just dive in together into 3 practices to support an intuition-led business. So I'm Phoenix, for those of you who don't know me, and my experience, my background is really the 2 sides of the spectrum. So the spiritual and then the more business world, practical, logical side. And I grew up in a really spiritual woo household. My dad was a psychic and an astrologer and a medium, and yes, all of those things. Nothing else to say. And my mom was a Reiki healer, a massage therapist, and now she's an acupuncturist. So I was immersed in that experience. I even got my first Reiki attunement when my mom was pregnant with me. So I, of course, went the opposite direction and went into I got a science degree. I went into environmental science. I worked with nonprofits. And slowly through that process, working for a nonprofit, I started to do the newsletter and the engagement and the community building, and then continued on that path deeper into just marketing, running successful businesses, doing branding, and then finally online course creation and web design, which was when I really felt something clicked. It was my intuitive side, it was my artistic side, and started my business about a few years ago, and started doing workshops with Anya, and found my way into working one-on-one with people around things that I didn't expect, like fear and vulnerability and being seen, and what it really means to put yourself out there in this online world, and how that can bring up so many emotions, and how our internal state really reflects out into our business. And so we need to work on this.
Yeah.
And so I had a turning point last spring of really wanting to bring in energy healing to the process, and guided meditation, and tapping really into our intuition and our inner knowing, and developing a really empowered place in our business. And so that shifted my work in a big way. I realized I loved going deep with people, and really found my way to do business coaching in a way that really bridges the strategic and the soulful. So that's the sort of current iteration of my business. I'm still doing branding and design, but really focusing on business coaching with people. And so that's about me. And that process through coaching has made me realize that our intuition, our inner knowing, our trust in ourselves is our greatest business asset. And it's not all of these other things that we see out there. And so that's why I want to talk about this today. I think it needs to be out there, and it's a different way of doing business. And I'm excited to share it. This is not a sales call. This is not a pitch. This is really just getting this work out into the world, getting these tools out into the world. So this is Anya, and she is a facilitator. She's a writer. She's a change maker. She's been in my life for a long time as a client. I was a client of hers, as a collaborator, and now our current iteration, which is just really supporting each other with our businesses, and the evolutions of our businesses. And her current evolution is this leadership program for change makers who really want to develop signature offers in the world. And it's amazing. And it's AnyaHankin.com if you want to check her out. And I brought her on today because I really want this to feel like a conversation, that we're all in this together. This is not me talking at you. And it's also really helpful to learn through someone else's experience. So we'll be writing in our journals during this time together. I'll be asking Anya to share some vulnerabilities around her business. And the hope is that you're going to walk away from tools by watching us. So I invite you to participate with us. You can pause the video, you can write in your journal. Maybe these are things that you come back to. So we are going to dive in.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start with our big business vision. And we're starting here because when we're doing a million things as a solopreneur, we can often get really busy and say yes to all sorts of things, and discover that it's really not in alignment with our business vision, where we really want to go with our business. And if we're not tuning into that and we're not checking into that, then we can end up somewhere completely different. And I'm all about the intuitive and connecting with our highest self, but also being really grounded in what we want to do in the world. So we're going to start with a little journal writing. So grab your journal, grab a pen, and we're going to tune into our business vision. And I love to kind of zoom into the future. So we can either do 1 year, you can do 3 years, but I'll just start with 1 year. So what does your business look like in 1 year? And what does it feel like to be in your business? What does your day-to-day feel like? So this could be full sentences, this could be goals that you're writing, or this could be a series of feeling words that you really want to call in. So we're going to take a little bit of time. Anya and I are going to do this process together, and I encourage you to do it along with us. And if you want to keep writing after I stop, then pause and just keep writing. All right, so we're going to start. So again, your business vision, and what does it look like, and what does it feel like? And if you need to take a deep breath before you start this process, I always encourage you to kind of just settle in. I'm noticing that I have a million things going through my head. So allowing yourself to let that go and just really tune into this.
So time to stop. I could fill pages and pages.
I know, I love it.
That made me really happy. It was really fun to do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know. I was like, underline, exclamation point.
I was like, yeah. Ooh, this sounds good. This feels good. I'm ready. Bring it.
I love it. So these words can really guide, your whole, what you're bringing in. So do you want to share a few words that really connected with you right now?
Yeah, I wrote trust and I circled it first thing. I just feel like that's so significant for me, and it's so grounding just to be in this sense of trust that I am in the right place and doing what I want to be doing, and that the people are coming and that the money is coming. Like, it's all kind of rooted in a sense of trust.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's the big one for me. And then the other words I wrote just off the top are ease, spontaneity, and freedom. And just the sense of community, that the work that I'm doing is really in community with community, and that I am then also surrounded by community. Yeah,
Definitely.
and then I wrote a lot of specifics too, but
I love it. Yeah. I also had freedom and travel and some other fun ones. I also was kind of in this dreamy state of anything is possible.
it's good to be there sometimes.
Yeah. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed that process. So now we're going to move into the next practice. And this is about actually tapping into your intuition. So I like to start with the vision. What are we working towards? And then bringing in the spiritual tools, or, whatever word you want to use, if spiritual is not your word of choice. So intuition, you may be familiar with it. You may connect with your intuition daily in meditation. You may not know what intuition is. So our intuition is just it's our inner knowing. It's our wise self that's unbiased. It's that little whisper, if we get really quiet, that comes to visit. Mine likes to visit in my bath time. And
Gotta take a lot of baths.
Yes, I do take a lot of baths. Side note. It's feelings in your body. It's that heaviness, it's that lightness. And so we're going to tune into this and how we bring it to our business. Because I think that maybe a lot of us know about using our intuition, but bringing that into our business is not something we talk about, or what other people really talk about. And I think that it's such an incredible tool for creating alignment and authenticity, so that you're really following your own path and you're not getting swayed by what everyone else is doing or what you're seeing in the world. So what I'm going to invite us all to do, and if you need to pause this, you can, is to think about a situation in your business right now that you are dealing with, that you're struggling with, or that you're unsure about, a crossroads.
Only one thing.
Only one thing. You could write them all out and spend the day doing this.
I might need to. A weekend immersion.
Yes. But right now we're just going to do one. Okay. And sort of a yes or no in this moment. And then you can really use this tool in however you want, or maybe you will never use this tool. But I invite you to practice with us now. I've found that it's been really instrumental for my own life and my clients' lives. So Anya,
yes.
Do you mind sharing the situation in your business that you want to dive into?
Yeah. What's coming to mind is the possibility of creating and launching an e-course in the fall.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that going to work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This is great. So what we're going to do is I'm going to guide Anya and you all through a meditation. And this is a really short meditation that allows us to just drop in, tune in, and begin noticing. It's something that you can easily bring into your day-to-day that doesn't require 20 minutes or an hour. And I encourage you all to do this along with me. And if you want to explore your own scenario in your mind, or you just want to witness this process,
you can just explore my
or
scenario.
You can explore Anya's scenario.
Tell me
if
what
you
get from it. There's like a chorus of yeses.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to start by feeling our feet on the ground. This is, bringing some awareness into our body, whatever's, underneath your feet. Feeling your seat. And if you need to, bring any stretching to your shoulders, if you need to do a little neck roll, just kind of loosening up into your body. And take some just loose breaths to kind of let everything go. And I'm going to do this with Anya with my eyes closed. So I encourage you to close your eyes too so you're not staring at us. um, and just bring some softness to any area of your body right now. So if you need to kind of soften around your eyes, your mouth, noticing where there's tension, filling up your belly and your chest, and allowing it to just fully release. And when you're ready, if you're feeling relaxed in this space, start to bring awareness to the bottom of your feet and envision a cord dropping from the bottom of your feet all the way through your floor into the earth, deep into the soil, around the roots, around the plants, roots that are deep in the earth. And imagine yourself just feeling really rooted into that space and then pulling up that grounding energy from the earth through the bottom of your feet, through your legs, through your belly and your chest, nourishing energy all the way through the top of your head and out the top of your head. A cord of light extending all the way up, and it's connecting with your intuition, with your inner wisdom, an infinite source of knowledge that you can draw upon at any time. Connecting with the energy of your business, of your work that you're bringing out into the world. And bringing that energy back into your body. Allowing it to fill you up. And now just bring some energy to your heart space, compassion for yourself, joy and appreciation. Tuning into what it feels like to feel joy in your body. And from this space, we're going to bring in the business scenario. So I'm going to focus on Anya's, which is around creating this e-course this fall. And we're going to fill in all the details of the creation process. What it would mean to say yes to creating this e-course this fall. What it would feel like to put together the web pages, to write the content, to gather the images, to share it. Allow yourself to really feel into that space of saying yes. And then begin to notice what's going on in your body. Are you feeling heavy? Is it feeling constricting in your chest? Do you feel a lump in your stomach? Or is it feeling light and expansive? Are you feeling motivated and joyful? Just taking note of what's going on in your body. And now we're going to tune into what it feels like to say no. To say, I'm not going to do it this fall. I'm not going to create an e-course this fall. I'm going to open up that space in my calendar for something else. I'm going to say yes to other things. And what it would mean to say no to that. Maybe you're doing it later on. Maybe it's not right. And noticing again what's going on in your body. Does it feel lighter to say no to that? Do you feel heavy? Does it feel like a relief? Or do you really feel like your heart wants to? And again, just noticing what's going on. And if you're not getting a lot right now, that's okay too. If it's new to connecting with your intuition in this way, it can take a little while to develop this relationship. So just thank yourself for going through this process and bring yourself back into your body. And bring movement to your body and open your eyes. And if you want to take a little note about this, of words that came up or feelings that came up, we'll do a little sharing if you feel open to sharing what came up for you.
Yeah. It felt like a very clear yes to me. It really did. And when you were kind of guiding about listening to my body specifically, or just like the sensations, just felt this, like, sounds cheesy, but like such this like light beam coming from my heart. It was like it was just this like then the yes, like
I love it.
I was like, oh, it must be a yes. And then the no, I was like, I just felt this, like, I also really was wanting to be open to the no, and I just like felt this like flatness kind of.
Definitely.
That was cool. I want to do more of that.
Well, and I would love for you to share a little bit because, you know, we've talked about this before. We both, if you're into astrology, we both have Virgo in our chart. We're very much grounded in the brain, in the logical side. And so intuition bringing to your business is maybe not something that you use as much. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm definitely rooted in my Virgo-ness and like linear thinking, practical thinking.
Yeah.
How is this gonna work? Think. And I'm also really intuitive, and I'm naturally intuitive, but I'm not conscious of that in my business life, in my business world. I get very looped into, does this make financial sense? Does this make practical sense? What is this going to look like? But it was really lovely, even just for those few moments, to be like, how does this feel in my body? Like, I'm not ever asking myself that question. Sometimes I just get that hit of like, oh, this isn't right. Yeah. Or this is right. Yeah. But it's cool to bring some consciousness to that practice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that just felt so clear.
I love it.
I'm launching a new course.
Yeah. So this can be something, you know, that you can keep checking in with. Again, with our big vision, that can shift. You know, tuning in with our body, this can shift. But if there is something that we keep going over in our head over and over, it can be really helpful just to drop in and tune in and say, okay, that was clear. And flexing that muscle to trust, because
which is what I wrote down.
It's trust building. You know, we are, instead of looking out, we're learning to trust within. And that can be scary. And so it's a practice.
Question.
Yes.
Would you then just take, like, so I had a clear yes.
Yeah.
Would I just take that yes and run with it? Or would you suggest, like, tapping back in, utilizing that practice daily or weekly to be like,
I would
say alignment?
Definitely. Well, I would use it again with like another level of, okay, this is a yes. So what does that look like? Right? Like, what is it? What month is that? You can use this practice to tune into, what month do I have energy? When do I feel really good? When, you know, in my business cycle, what does that look like? And so as through the planning process, again, writing down, you know, what's my marketing strategy? I love using this process for how you want to share. You know, sometimes we just are so shooting ourselves to go do a series of Facebook Live ads to promote this, but maybe that's not really where your heart is, and you want to use this process to tap into your truth in that. So it can really be used in all sorts of ways.
It's like a total counter to traditional business modeling.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So my little action step, I love action steps, in my work with people around coaching, I love using meditation. I love using conversation and questioning in the process, and then also action. So we love going out there and going up and gathering, but how do we really make this happen in the world? So I have a little action step for you in this practice and the next one.
Okay.
And the practice is to use this tool for the rest of the day with any business decision that comes up. So if that's saying yes to someone or no to someone, tuning into what are your true yeses and what are your true nos. And you could use it in your business. You also could just use it in your life. If someone asks you to go out to dinner and you're like, I don't know, maybe I'm doing it as guilt, maybe, anyway, you get the point. I don't need to go into it, but use this tool and see if it's something that you really want to bring into your life.
So it's for the maybes. It's for things that feel unknown.
Yes. Yep.
If you already have a clear yes or a clear no about something, then trust that.
Yes.
Is that, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
For maybes.
For maybes. Okay, so we're going to talk about the third key practice, and this is all about allowing you to show up in your business with a sense of being empowered in your zone of genius, really saying yes to the yeses, clearing space for the yeses, and it comes in the form of support. So support can look so many different ways. It doesn't have to be financial support. It could be asking for help. It could be hiring a house cleaner. It could be, scheduling these days that we have together, reaching out to a friend who has a business and saying, hey, can we get together monthly to support each other and staying accountable? There are so many ways that we can get support, and I just don't believe that we're here to do this alone. We are given this belief, I don't know from where, that as solopreneurs, we are holding all of it. And we aren't, and we don't have to. I have a business mentor, I have an astrologer, I have an energy healer, I have an acupuncturist, I'm all about support. And we support each other in such a big way, and that's been so instrumental for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
It is. And yeah, what's your experience as far as what you've come up against asking for support or trying to take it all on? Or
I mean, I think I've been in business for myself since 2011, so like a long time. And I think for so many years, I just felt like I had to do it all alone. And I was doing it all alone. And maybe like in the early years, I couldn't afford to have help. Just feeling like I needed to be an expert in all the realms in order to make my business viable. And I'm practicing shedding that. I've realized it's not sustainable to do it all by myself. I don't want to be doing it all by myself. I talk about this a lot in the work that, like, the communities that I create and gather, that we do such connected relational work, but then we're doing it in isolation. And so, countering that in my own work, in my own life. And I just hired someone to help me with my gatherings. And it is like a serious, serious game changer. Like having her there, I was like, how did I do this by myself? Like truly, I did not know. It was amazing. So having that kind of tangible support is essential. And having people like you to reach out to and connect with.
Definitely.
And I have also just been expanding my thinking a little bit more about what support looks like, and recognizing that it can be in the form of like muse and creativity, that I'm not alone even when I feel like I'm alone.
Yes, we are so supported. And your support could also look like connecting with the energy of your business, feeling the support of the universe behind you. It could be practices around that, because that also is allowing you to shed old beliefs and shed fear and really show up. So support can look so different. I just think it's something that we really need to embrace and talk about a little bit more in our businesses, especially intuition-led businesses, since I work with so many healers and givers and helpers.
Yeah.
And we can give and give, and then it isn't sustainable. We're not filling up our own cup. Yep. So the practice that I would love for us to do right now is to write, areas of your business where you're feeling overwhelmed, and what does support look like to you? So, so from those overwhelming areas, how can we bring in support to support that? We're going to take just a few minutes to write about this, and then I'll invite us to do a little action step.
So overwhelm, and what does support look like?
Yep.
Okay. Should I stop?
Oh, I was just thinking that even when I was writing out what support looks like, I felt this sense of like,
Just even considering it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And for me, I've recently hired someone, which was a really big step for me in asking for support. And also I was just thinking more around my physical body, supporting what that looks like.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And getting more hikes in. And so anyway, it can look.
You need a desk chair.
Yes, I need a desk chair. And ergonomically correct.
Hey, it matters.
Physical.
It matters.
Yes, it matters. Yeah, do you want to share kind of what, what if it's a place that you're feeling overwhelmed, or just one area that you want to bring support into?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I really just acknowledged and acted on a big area that I have needed support in, which is like doing all of the things to get my in-person gatherings running smoothly and beautiful. And so I just did say yes to a big support, which is this person who's helping me. So that is also kind of front of mind.
Yes.
And when I tap into the overwhelm that I'm feeling, it's really in the kind of like big picture visioning into the tangible, which I'm really good at, but it's what we're talking about. Like, I just need somebody else to be witness to that process and like reflect back to me.
Yeah.
That's really where I feel overwhelmed, is when I'm like, oh my God, I'm just doing this all by myself.
Yes.
Yeah. And does this make sense? And does this resonate? And
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having someone to hold your vision and to really reflect your gifts and to truly see you is so huge. And I mean, I'm so called to the work that I do, and also working with other people around holding those visions and helping you get tangible. But that can also be a friend, who can do that for you, who has a similar business. I encourage people to reach out to the community where they live for people who have similar businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would love, as an action step for this, for you to take one step this week that would allow you to bring support into your business. So, so that could be reaching out to someone and saying, "Hey, will you sit down?" I know you'll reach out to me.
Are you free?
So, yeah.
Done. Check.
Or, so write one step that you can take to bring support in. It could be asking your partner. It could be asking your kids to do something. It could be however it looks.
Write it down.
Write it down and put it on your calendar. I'm also a fan of blocking up the space for that. And that can really shift your business. Those little shifts that you take, those little action steps can really shift how it feels to show up in your business. And coming back to those feeling words, you know, how can you have more freedom? And how can you have more ease? And these things that we crave often come into alignment, really saying yes to the things we want to say yes to, and getting support so that we can say yes to those things. So I hope that there was something that you connected with on this call today, and it could be something that you can bring into your own business, that you can share with others. I'm all about empowering people in your lives to create a new way of doing business.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And it's been such a joy to spend this time with you. And I'll be sending this recording, and make it your own. Pause, use the exercises, and I will be seeing you again soon.
Bye.
All right, bye.